live. Shalom, DC, with the Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge, started on West 125th Street, Harlem, New York, under Commander General YAHANNA. Since 1969, we've been teaching the truth of the Bible. And the truth is that the so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native American Indians are the true Jews, according to the Bible, and that our oppressor is the devil that the Bible speaks of. Tonight is Monday night history class. We're going to get into a little bit of history. We're going to talk about the power of the prophets and how the Most High gives power to the prophets. And we're going to get some real live examples that we have that we had back in history. And I'm going to give you some real live examples of what happens today, now in this day. You know what I'm saying? Times past, we had, powerful prophets such as Elijah. We had, powerful prophets like Samuel, Moses, all of our those people that we've learned aforetime, so we can learn for our learning, so we can tell exactly who a prophet is, and we wouldn't have to be led astray like our TD takes and these theft your dollars. That's it. TD takes and theft your dollar. You know what I'm saying? So we can actually tell exactly who's a real, true prophet of the Most High and who ain't. You know what I'm saying? So I'm gonna get into. See, who am I gonna go into first? Let's see. Tonight's topic is the power of the prophets and how the Most High gives power to these prophets. Let me get my sword out right quick. And first, we're gonna let's go into 2 Kings chapter 2. We're going to 2 Kings chapter 2. And we're going to start at verse. Hold on, let me get there real quick. 2 Kings chapter 2. And let's see. And we're going to go. Let's start at verse 19. Come. Start at verse 19. When you got it, just go ahead, read it out. 2 Kings. We're looking at 2 Kings chapter 2 and verse 19. Yeah, you got something?
It's heavy that you say that. The topic today is I've been talking to a brother off and on, and like I guess we reached a point where he's getting a little frustrated, and I'm telling him,
frustrated how?
I'm telling him that him reading how he's reading the Bible, it seems carnal, and like he doesn't really have the spirit of some of the things that he's reading, because his breakdowns are horrible and he's going carnal with it. And he kind of like broke down the other day and was like, well, I'm deeper than what you're talking about. God be talking to me. I'm a prophet. All of that, So for you have the topic today, they're talking about that. The Lord puts the power in the prophets. I can't verbatim say what you said, but pretty much on topic of what I've been having a problem with him, just talking back and forth.
Yeah. So shit, I did. What are some of the things he be saying?
He said like Satan had sex with Eve, with a serpent, or had sex with Eve. Try to let him know who the serpent is. What's some other things that he says? It would more so hit me like that was one of the wildest things right there. That he said Satan had sex with Eve.
You're a Christian.
I don't know what he is. He claims not to be a Christian, but I sent him.
So wait, hold on.
I gave him Proverbs.
Well, hold on. Before we move on to that, you said he claims not to be a Christian, but so why is he debating the Bible at all?
Because he reads.
Is he trying?
He reads. He also reads every other possible book that the Lord didn't gather.
Those are his words?
Yeah.
Okay.
He reads so many different books that supposedly hold the spirit of the Lord that the Lord didn't gather. That he just feels like he's deeper than the average understanding. And
why didn't the Lord gather them books?
Because they don't hold the spirit of the Lord. The Lord. Well, you talking about like the tribes? Is he reading the books on the tribes? The book of Adam and Eve. It's like he laid out a bunch of different books that I never heard of myself, but it would seem like they're talking about it. But as General Muhammad said, if it wasn't apocryphal or in the Bible, the Lord didn't gather those books because those books hold the spirit of the Lord.
Yeah. I mean, if he proclaims that the Lord didn't gather the books and the Lord didn't have his spirit on those books, why in the hell is he reading them?
No, come on. He says the Lord's spirit is on those books.
He said the Lord's spirit is on those books. And I'm telling him, off of what General Muhammad was saying one night, that the Lord gathered together the books that he wanted for people to best show his spirit. And those weren't the books. He even mentioned the book of Enoch. I'm telling them no. Well, that's a good comic book. That's a good fan fiction right there. I mean, if you want some fan fiction, go ahead and read the book of Enoch, which is ridiculous. You know what I'm saying? That's better than Marvel comic books right there. And that's exactly what it is. It's a comic book. You shouldn't hold any water when it comes to anything that is not the 1611 King James Bible right here. This right here. Anything that's with the Holy Scripture, King James 1611 version with the Apocrypha included. Anything else? Let me not misquote it. Anything that has to do with the Bible, 1611 King James version. That's our baseline. We should go off of that. And if you want to read some books that you want to get some type of knowledge, go into ISUPK.com and click on the book list. That you can get a better understanding of what the Most High is about, and how we got to be where we are right here and right now. But Christians, for the most part, man, Christians say some bugged out stuff, some weird, out of the way stuff that I've never heard before in my life. I was at the slave, and this sister was talking about, she was just talking about, she's from the South, she's from like Mississippi. Sister was talking about how she wants to do this and try this etouffee and this po' boy and this gumbo, and I was like, that's cool. I don't eat that stuff. And then she was like, why? Why, you allergic? And I was like, yeah, I'm allergic, but even if I wasn't, I wouldn't eat that. So she was like, you don't eat catfish? I was like, that's not meant to be eaten. And then she was like, so you don't eat pork? And then before I get that out, she said, I shouldn't be surprised at what Christians say, but this is what she said. She was like, so you don't eat pork? Well, God didn't make that. God made all this other stuff, but God didn't make that. Like, what are you talking about? God didn't make the pig? She was like, nah, Satan made the pig. I'm like, try not to laugh. I was like, you said Satan made the pig? I was like, what? I was like, where is that in the Bible? She was like, I don't know, but it's in there. She was saying, Satan made some sort of creation, and no one really knows what it is, but everything that it describes, it sounds like a pig. I'm like, man, you have to show me that. Show me that in the Bible. Show me that. She was like, well, I got to talk to my husband because her husband is a preacher's son, so he knows everything about the Bible, the scriptures and whatnot. So I was like, all right, well, okay, well, once you get that, I will be very interested in hearing what that has to say. What you got?
This is the book list. It's quite a lengthy list of the different.
This I.S.U.P.K book list?
No, but this is the book list of things that he, like, you hit the picture, you can zoom in.
This is what he be reading?
I don't care. Oh, okay.
This
like, you see how much it is?
It doesn't matter.
It's a lot of books.
There's a scripture that says, "He that gets a lot." I'm paraphrasing, but he that gets a lot of knowledge gets nothing. It was something like that. He's gathering, knowledge, false knowledge, for the most part. If he wants to learn something, get his hind part in his seat, put his butt in his seat, and his mind will be blown every single time he gets his butt in his seat. Everything that he think he knows, all those books, comic books that he be reading, it doesn't hold a drop. I remember General YAHANNA was saying how he was sitting in the class, just like this, when he was learning from people who you wouldn't think that would be so scholarly, because their education level wasn't high, or they dropped out of school, or English wasn't their first language, or something like that. And the amount of knowledge that these men above him possessed and taught him, he was just amazed. And you would be surprised at who the Most High raises up in order to teach the nation of Israel. You know what I'm saying? You just be surprised at who the Most High calls up to be, to lead His people. Just like David was a shepherd's son. David was a shepherd's son. He was, when the prophet came around to see, I had to go. He got a word from the Most High, said I had to go to Jesse's house, and I had to find the next king of Israel in Jesse's house. And Jesse had a number of sons. He brought out his sons. Oh, I take that back. It was a prophet that had to go to Jesse's house for basically for David. You know what I'm saying? He didn't know it was David. He went to Jesse's house. Jesse lined up all his sons except for David, and was like, these are my sons. These are the ones I present to you. Choose from one of them. And he looked over them. He was like, nah, he ain't here. And he was like, do you have another son? He was like, yeah, but he's this little, he's not really to look at. We don't see him as potential of being anything. These sons, these are the guys who can do what you want to do. Get the job that you want to get done. He was like, nah, this ain't it. The Most High can tell me this is not it. Show me the other son. And when he seen when he seen David, no one knew that David was supposed to be one of the greatest kings of Israel. You know what I'm saying? But he was. So you had something?
First, with Salaki, if I may, early in the interview, Joseph separated. When he was able to bring all the Hebrews to next to Egypt, he had them in the next town over because they would have been undesirable because they were sheep herders. That was frowned upon with the Egyptians. And sheep herding, to my understanding, is a great way to teach somebody how to herd masses, like to lead the masses, to be a leader. You know what I mean? So that's just one thing that I noticed that when you said David was a sheep herder. That's a skill he definitely would have picked up. Is like being able to lead. You know what I mean? Yeah.
Well, the story with that was when Joseph brought his family into Egypt. He told his family to tell the Egyptians, tell them you're sheep herders, because the Egyptians didn't like goat herders. Egyptians thought badly of them, so he was like, just in order for them to leave you alone, tell them you're goat herders. They're gonna be like, all right, well, it's kind of like we see the. I'm trying to put it in comparison. It's kind of like we see the maintenance man or the garbage man. We don't really put much stock into them. We see them like, all right, yeah, we ain't gonna sit and talk with them. You know what I'm saying? We ain't gonna sit and hold a conversation with them. Really, there's nothing wrong with them, but society looks at them as lower class. The janitors, the street cleaners, the garbage men. Society looks at them, the housekeepers. Society looks at them as, like as castaways. You know what I'm saying? And that's how the way Joseph wanted Egypt to look at them, because he was all up in Egypt. You know what I'm saying? He was viceroy. He knew how the way Egypt operated. So he's just like, all right, in order for them to, leave you alone, give you your own land, separate away from them. Just tell them your co-workers. You got something?
And the last thing, if I may, I found where he told me all the crazy things that he said about himself. He said,
who said about
himself? The guy that I was talking about. He said, I'm not anointed. I'm a prophet. I see visions. God speaking to me through his spirit. And I accept, rejected. He said, then he was like, I will deliver new law to Israelites.
Yeah, he's listening to somebody. It ain't the Most High.
Okay.
It ain't the Most High. If he was, he says he's a prophet. What's his prophecy?
I don't know. He also said God loves all his children, no matter what color.
Well, he's a liar. He's a liar. He's a liar. He is a liar. I heard enough.
Me too.
I heard enough.
I'm trying to get him in class though. That was him snapping because he couldn't really prove anything.
Yeah. Well, okay. Moving on. We got a question from a brother. Slack sir, in Deuteronomy 28:5, what does thy basket and thy store represent? Let's get Deuteronomy 28:5. Hold on, let me get there with you. 28:5. All right, first of all, you gotta understand Deuteronomy 28:1 through 14. 1 through 14 represents all the blessings that the Most High will give to us if we follow all of his law, statutes, and commandments. That is the trade-off. Everything that he says from verse 1 to verse 14 is everything the Most High promises us. It should we follow his law, statutes, and commandments. That's number one. We gotta understand that. So that's where we're coming from. So read verse 15. Verse 5.
Okay. The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28, verse 5. Blessed shall be thy basket and thy store.
You got something? You want to give it a shot?
If I may. Yeah, start with verse 4.
Go ahead, yeah. Go to verse 4.
Book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28, verse 4. Blessed shall be the fruit of thy body, and the fruit of thy ground, and the fruit of thy cattle.
Hold on. Break that part down.
Blessed shall be the fruit of thy body, which will be your kids. Okay. And the fruit of thy ground will be with you, your crops that you grow.
Right. Well, not necessarily the crops that you grow. I mean, what if someone's not a farmer? You know what I'm saying? We don't really have many farmers today.
Well, basically, like the fruit of your job.
Okay.
The fruit of thy cattle, that would be the cattle's offspring. The increase of thy kind. Thy kin. That'll be your relatives.
Okay.
The flocks of thy sheep. So once again, that's your cattle.
It's not only cattle, because that was like their, for lack of better words, that was like their income. You know what I'm saying? That was their livelihood. So it wasn't just sheep where they made money off of the sheep, because there's more than one way you can make a money off of the wool. You know what I'm saying? Even nowadays, I heard this is crazy, but like goats eat just about damn near anything. Almost like I ain't gonna say like pigs, but like if you want to clear out like a brush patch full of land, you get a herd of goats. They'll tear through, they'll eat all the brush. They'll eat all of the high grass and whatnot. they'll go through it quick, fast, and in a hurry. And it's it's green. You know what I'm saying? It's sustainable. You just you want this patch of land that's overgrown or whatnot. It needs to be cleared away. Sustainable way is, hey, these goats are hungry. Go ahead, let them have at it. Box them in for a while, a time. They'll clear that whole thing out.
Okay.
But yeah, it's a way of it was an income as well as food source. Keep going.
Verse 5. Blessed shall be thy basket and thy store.
You want to give this a shot?
That's why I started verse 4. I was a little confused with the basket myself. But the basket would more so be the products in the store.
I would say
you gain from it, the money from it.
Yeah, I would say that it will be your increase. So bless your increase and the way you earn that increase.
Okay.
So that the basket and that sword, you can, in modern terms, you can think of it as your. I'm not gonna necessarily say your wallet, but you can think of it as your bankroll. You know what I'm saying? As your quote unquote nest egg, something that you put away that you can come back to and barter and gain.
Got
You had some?
Salaki, I see what you're saying, like your stash.
Yeah.
Your stash. I was going to say hustle all the way around. But
I would put more of it as an increase from your hub. But these are the blessings. We ain't gonna have to hustle. You know what I'm saying?
Come.
You heard the story of the Midas touch. Everything that got touched turned to gold.
Come.
That's what this is. Everything we were supposed to. The Most High put it wanted to be, and it will be once Yahushua comes back. Everything that we put our hands to is going to be prosperous. Why? Because we're following the transcript that's put forth in front of us. Why? Because we're doing exactly what the Most High is telling us to do. He is leading us through the prophets. The prophets are telling, the Most High is telling the prophets, and the prophets are teaching all of Israel how to prosper, not only in this kingdom, but in the Most High's kingdom. Because we still can, I'm not even going to say prosper. Our hell won't be as devious as if we weren't following the Most High. You understand what I'm saying? And I'm not saying, we don't go through hell, because we're all in captivity. We're all in captivity. But my hell wouldn't be as bad as someone who is just blatantly, disobeying the Most High. Like that brother who you're talking about. You tell him, hey, the Most High operates like this, and this. Come to class and learn about it. And he just, basically he's spitting in the eye of the Most High. Spitting in the eye of Christ. Spitting in the eye of Christ's sacrifice. You did your job. Told him to come to class. If he doesn't want to come to class, that's unfortunately that's on him. That's on him. So with that, Matthew Brandon, I hope that answered your question. If they didn't answer your question, add into the comments and let me know if that answered your question. If anybody else has any question, put it in the chat. We'll get to your questions quick, fast, and in a hurry. Did you have any other questions? Or anything else?
Nah. You don't want to hear.
Most High in Christ. I don't. Let's go back to, what was that? 2 Kings chapter 2. Go back to 2 Kings chapter 2. Yeah. Second Kings chapter 2, and we were at, I want to say 19. Yeah. 2 Kings chapter 2 and verse 19.
Book of 2 Kings, chapter 2, verse 19. And the men of the city said unto Elisha, Behold, I pray thee, the situation of this city is pleasant, as my Lord seeth.
Right.
But the water is not, and the ground barren.
All right. So with that, what do you think is going on here?
They don't have anything to drink.
Right, exactly. So they're saying, yo, we good. We're not being attacked. We're not being harmed. Everything is good. We're prosperous. Only thing is, we're going through a drought. We need some water. You know what I'm saying? We need water to feed our crops. We need water to feed our cattle. We need water to feed us. Without water, there's a 3 by 3 by 3 rule. I don't know if you've ever heard of it. You cannot survive more than 3 minutes, roughly. You cannot survive more than 3 minutes without air. You cannot survive more than 3 days without water. You cannot survive more than 3 weeks without food. You don't have no water, that's a death sentence. You're going to die faster than if you didn't have any food. You know what I'm saying? So they're saying, hey, we're good. We need some water. And who are they talking to? They're talking to a man of the Most High, a man of God. They went to the right place. They knew who he was, because it wasn't just one person. It said the men of the city. The men of the city came unto Elisha and were like, hey, if anybody can help us out, it's going to be you. And that's how all of Israel should be. If anybody can help out, it's going to be Commander General YAHANNA. If anybody has any troubles, any problems, anything that's going on, if you're Israel, go and see Commander General YAHANNA. Come and see Commander General YAHANNA. He's the man of the Lord. He will know how to fix. He knows how to fix your problems. He's the one who knows how to get our people off of crack. He's the one who knows how to take our women off the stripper poles. You know what I'm saying? He's the one who knows how to be righteous men and righteous women in this disgusting nation while we're in captivity. Right? He knows how to do it. Just like these men knew how, who to go to in order to get a drought, from stopping. That's what that's what the prophets are here for. If we put our faith, they're here for to be an example, to teach us to put our faith. So not just in the prophet, but in what the power of the prophet represents. And the power of the prophet represents is the Most High. The Most High communes. The Most High uses one man. Right here in this point in time, the Most High at a time, not just one man. Period. He just used one man at a time. This point in time, he's using this prophet Elisha. Right here and now, even though there's 11 camps, there's only one camp that the Most High, deals with. And that's the I.S.U.P.K. And that one man that deals with out of the I.S.U.P.K. is Commander General YAHANNA. Anybody who has any problems or beef with that, come to class. Debate that cause. Come to class. Prove me wrong. Yeah, if you're not proving me wrong, you're going to try and prove the Most High wrong. And Most High is what? 50 billion and zero? Most High don't lose. He'll never lose. Never. I don't even know why he's trying to go up against the Most High. The prophet right now is Commander General YAHANNA. That's it. You got something, brother?
Yeah, it's like they want a little personal victory because they're very hesitant to come to class and prove the Most High wrong, but I guess they're comfortable with, I know you, I seen what you used to be and all that. So, you act like you know something. I just want to prove myself better than you. That's what I usually come across when it comes to, talk about the truth and trying to get somebody in class. Like, I don't want them to believe me. You know what I mean? I want them to believe me, but like I know how they envision me from what I used to be. So you know what I mean? Like I don't even want you. I want you to understand higher than that. You know. So come to class and hear from one of my high ups.
Well, for the most part, look at the way I used to be and look at the way I am now.
Come on.
That man that you thought you knew, the man that you knew is not here right now. That man is dead, and may he never rise again. You know how many times people have told me, "Yo, you changed." Like you that to me. Whenever I hear that, I'm like, "Word." Tell me how it changed. Tell me exactly how it changed. I love hearing stuff like that. I love hearing that. Like, yo, how the way it used to be, and this and that. I was telling brothers, there was something going on, you know, in the family and whatnot, and I was talking to my moms, and my moms was like, yeah, you know, so and so, blah, this and that. It was about a family reunion, right? And I was like, what family reunion? He was like, yeah, they're trying to get, you know, everybody to go to the family reunion, this and that. I was like, yo, no one's talked to me, no one hit me up about a family reunion. At first I was like, these moms ain't going to include me on a family reunion, word. But then I was like, all right, I understand. They think I'm that crazy nigga that, you know, that be screaming on the corners, that lost his ever-loving mind. That's what they think. That's what they think. And I'm like, okay. The scriptures are coming true. Why? Because the Most High says, Christ says he's going to put people at variant against each other. You know, mother's going to go against daughter. Son is going to go against father. This is what he's going to put enmity between family members. This is what Christ talked about when he was, you know, walking the earth thousands of years ago. And it's happening right before our very eyes. Can any of them other, you know, fake camps say that? They all going to the cookout. You know what I'm saying? They're all getting invited to the family functions and the weddings and whatnot. They still going to Thanksgiving.
Right.
They still buying Christmas gifts. You cannot say that about anybody in I.S.U.P.K. Anybody who wore all black for 90 days or more, anybody who shed themselves of the world, who shed themselves of that nasty name that they were called by in the world and being called by the name that the man above them gave them. You cannot say that about them. You know what I'm saying? So when my mom told me, it was like, yeah, they're having a family reunion. I'm like, okay, cool. I go to a family reunion, 2-3 times a week? You know what I'm saying?
Come.
I go to a family. I'm always at a family reunion. I'm at a family reunion right now. You know what I'm saying?
Come.
Every week, and there was a huge family reunion last weekend. It was a big one. You know what I'm saying? Out in Chicago. Let's give it up to the brothers out in Chicago for the fire weekend. The fire cookout last weekend. I know they had an amazing time. I'm gonna try and get out to a few more of these barbecues as it's coming up. I'm gonna have to make it. Let's get back to on topic. Where were we? We just read verse 19. Let's go to verse 20.
Come. 2 Kings chapter 2, verse 20. And he said, Bring me a new cruse.
Right.
And put salt therein.
All right.
And they brought it to him.
Okay. So they came to him with an issue. He gave them an order, and they followed that order. They actually had to do something. What's up?
It's like I forgot what a cruse is.
Cruise is a vessel. It's just something to hold like liquid. You know what I'm saying? Just like think of it as a pitcher.
Come.
Go ahead and bring me a pitcher. That's what he's saying.
Come.
Keep going.
Verse 21. And he went forth unto the spring of the waters,
right,
and cast the salt in there, and said, Thus saith the Lord, I have healed these waters. There shall not be from this any more death or barren land.
So They came to him with a problem. They came to a man of the Lord with a problem, with an issue. He gave them an order because he didn't say, "Can you?" We didn't ask the question, "Can you do this for me?" You know, when he said, "Bring me a cruise," he said, "Bring me a cruise and put salt in it." And they did that. There was no, "Why I got to do it? Why don't you go and do it?" There was none of that. None of the things that we today do. You know what I'm saying? They just he gave an order. They just went and did it. Then he did something. The priest did something. The prophet did something. He did something not in his name. He wasn't getting the glory. He was saying it in the name of the Most High. Read that script. Read that verse again.
Go. Verse 21. And he went forth unto the spring of the waters and cast the salt in there and said, "Thus saith the Lord."
Thus saith the Lord. So he's right there. It's not him that's doing it. All the glory that's coming from this action is going to the Most High. Right? Keep going.
"I have healed these waters. There shall not be from thence any more death or barren land."
From right now, there's not going to be any more death or barren land. So the drought that happened, the deaths that's causing the deaths that's caused by the drought, and the lack of food that they're getting because of the drought, it's not going to happen no more. From this time forward, from right there, there's not going to be any death. There's not going to be any more barren food, barren land. Your crops are going to yield. You're going to live from this time forth. Thus saith the Lord. Keep going.
Verse 22. So the waters were healed unto this day.
Unto this day. This dude did this prophet did something thousands of years ago, and that land has not been barren, has not been drought, had not have a drought till this day. He did one thing. There was a if anybody's seen Batman, one of those Batman, I think it was Joker. Anyway, he was saying, he was talking to Harvey Dent. He was like, "I'm gonna set up a fundraiser for you." He was like, "Nah, it's okay." He was like, "Nah, you don't understand. One fundraiser for me, and you'll never need, to raise another penny again." Right? So that's how he was saying, that's how rich he was and how rich his friends were. He was always gonna have. If I give you the okay, everybody's gonna throw their money at you, right? That's nothing compared to what just happened. It's thousands of years, and there had been no drought till this day. This prophet, this is the power of a prophet, of a true prophet. That dude you talking about? Come on, man. I hate to keep bringing. All right, well, yeah. What's up? You had.
I ain't know too, but he smoked weed too.
Of course.
He told the Lord talking to me. But
someone talking to him.
He's talking about me.
You I ain't gonna say this, but Mr. Clark should bring him up on the roof and be like, "Hey, you smoke crack, don't you?" That's basically what it is. It kills your brain cells. Come on, man. You think you philosophizing because you what else? Yeah, you have something else.
Yeah. This is what I really wanted to say. But and not only that, this is something that no one today can do to bring back burn water, burn land, and heal the water. The pollution and stuff we got today. There's no one today who can do this very same thing and heal the water and have the land replenish itself.
I wouldn't say that again.
I'm saying not only did he do that and it's still water and the land is good till this day. This is something that let me rephrase it. Science can't do to this day. They don't just know how to figure out where the average man can just go and just put some salt and some water and the land's good now and the water is clean.
Well, I think I understand what you're saying. So, but it's not it's really not what the man did, because he could have picked up picked up some dirt, and if the Most High wanted it to be that way, he could have just picked up some dirt, threw it in the water, and it would have been healed. It had nothing to do with really the salt. It had everything to do with what the Most High wanted him to do.
That's right.
So it could have been any action. He could have been, he could have, like I said, just picked up some dirt and threw it in there. And if the Most High wanted to be clean to this day, it would have been clean to this day. So what are you really trying to say?
I was giving glory to the Most High.
Okay,
because
Most High in Christ. Most High in Christ. Let's give a brother a hand for that. As for the people have figured out a way to clean dirty water. You know what I'm saying? We do it all the time. We have filters, in the house. We even have a little portable handheld filters where you can just run tap water under it and it filter out. But there's really not an action. There is no action that we know of from like this.
How come?
You know what I'm saying? So just the power that the Most High is bestowing on his prophets, his priests, people who are actually going out to service, his people righteously, not to try and rob them, every Sunday. You know what I'm saying? Not to try and give them the okie doke so they can sleep with your woman and molest your kids. He's giving power to actual priests and prophets. Can nobody tell me anything that anybody has done outside of these scriptures and outside of Commander General Yohanna? Miracles. You know how hard it is to get off of crack? You know what I'm saying? People will be addicted to crack or heroin or be alcoholics or just be outright sluts. They come into the school and they actually follow what Commander Joe Yohanna has put out. And then they completely turn away from everything that was, the essence of, just like how the way you said before, they think of you how the way you were before, but they can't see what you are now. And all they're thinking about is that, that old man that did whatever kind of deeds that old man did. They're not thinking about SHALAM. You know what I'm saying? What's your name mean again?
I will judge.
You will judge. They ain't thinking about the judge. They ain't thinking about that. They're thinking about all the nonsense that you may have done in the past. You know what I'm saying? It's a miracle that you're sitting right here. And who the Most High is the one that sets these miracles. It's a miracle that I'm sitting here. The Most High that sets these miracles. But he gave Commander General, Most High sets these miracles. The Most High gave Commander General Yohanna the fortitude, the brotherhood, the love, the decency, the humbleness to stay in when there was nobody else there with him, to keep the truth going alive, so that the Most High can build up the school to what it is right now. And that falls on Commander General Yohanna. There's not enough good words I can say about Commander General Yohanna. It's not enough good words I can say about it. If it wasn't for him actually toughing it out, I don't know where I would be. I don't even want to think about where I would be. You know what I'm saying? But just like the Most High actually gives power to his prophets. Here's a case in point right here. He healed the waters to this day.
Okay.
Where'd you leave off?
Verse
22. Read
verse 22.
Again.
Verse 22. So the waters were healed unto this day, according to the saying of Elisha, which he spake.
Okay.
Verse 23.
Now here's the it's not funny. All right, here's the flip side of that healing power. Here's the flip side of the healing power that the Most High gives prophets, his priests. We're gonna read exactly what type of power he has, what type of power Commander General Yohanna has. And anybody who was listening to this who was not in I.S.U.P.K, you better be thankful. Thankful that Commander General YAHANNA is such a brother. Is such a brother. Stop spitting on Commander General YAHANNA's name. Stop spitting on Commander General YAHANNA, period. Because really, you're not spitting on Commander General YAHANNA. You're spitting on Christ. You spitting on Christ, you're really spitting on the Most High. And that's a smoke you don't want. That's a smoke you do not want. Let's continue on reading.
Okay. Verse 23. And he went up from thence unto Bethel. And as he was going up by the way, there came 4 little children out of the city,
right,
and mocked him,
right,
and said unto him, Go up, thou bald head. Go up, thou bald head.
What's going on right here?
Like basically, kids are mocking him, saying, "Get out of here with your bald head." You know.
Yeah. You know how little Israelite kids, be getting. They ain't just saying get up that bald head. They just keep going and going and going.
Right.
Just keep going. You ever heard kids, just getting on people?
Right.
I'm from New York, and whenever you take a train, and kids, man, it's disrespectful like a mug, yo. I heard some kids just going at this dude, just relentless, just going on. Went from his shoes, went from his clothes, it went from how the way his hairstyle, and it was and what made it even worse is just like the other kids. Every time that kid said something, the other kids was like, oh, amping it up or whatnot. Just relentless, and it was like really nothing the dude could do but just get up and get off the train. So just imagine a picture like that. All these damn kids just the man of God is coming through town, minding his own damn business, and these kids come up, just mocking him. There's an expression: "Don't poke the bear." You know what I'm saying?
That question, because like I had to ask forgiveness like a month ago. I was in the 7-Eleven trying to get some coffee, and the coffee was cold. And I was even told by 7-Eleven in the main offices that they must get you hot coffee. So me knowing that, I was nice about the lady was on the side. I was like, "Can you make some coffee?" She told me, "Nah, we about to close." I looked at the time and I'm like, "No, y'all not." She said, "Yeah, we about to close in about 15 minutes. So then I went towards the register and I asked the other lady. The other lady said they weren't closing for another hour and a half. So now I'm mad at this, this Hamite, this heathen, and I just like went on her and like not cussing her out, but I just started going on her, like going on a heathen, a Hamite, and the sister I asked on the side was a Latino Israelite sister. So I'm like comparing the difference between how nice she is, how good she smells, how bad you smell. I went in like I had the whole 7-Eleven laughing at the Hamite, to the point that she got mad and talking about she was gonna leave the Israelite sister there. I said, look, there go a true character coming out right there. Like she said, she gonna leave you with all this work. Look at, by the time I finished, the Hamite was apologizing to the Israelite sister, and she was trying to be nice to me. You know what I mean? But I still asked for forgiveness because I went on.
You asked for forgiveness for who?
From the Lord.
So you went off on the Hamite, and you wanted the Most High to forgive you for what?
Just my behavior.
Okay, all right. So, all right. Thank you for sharing that story. Appreciate that. I never even heard of really 7-Eleven closing. Like when they supposed to be like 24 hours?
Now they closed now.
They closed now?
Yeah,
because of COVID?
I don't know, but a lot of them are closing now.
I seen I was in a 7-Eleven down in Southeast one time, and it was a Hamite and the brother working there, and the brother was like, "Yeah, it was this dude. He came in, he was trying to buy some, like some waters and whatnot, and he got like a case, or he got not a case, but he got like a few bottles. And he was like, man, if you don't have to buy the bottles, you can get more for less if you buy this case. And he was telling that to the Hamite. He was like, man, you know how much you just caused the store? How much money you lost the store? You should let that dude, buy up all the or whatever, and not try and save him no money. So you just caused us an X amount, and he had it down to like however much dollars and cents. Like you in a black, area. It was the Southeast. Number black men there. I ain't never really seen no Hamites over there. It's black, but you trying to squeeze every little penny out of whatever little that we have down there, and not trying to give us no break. And I'm looking at the brother, and he's looking at me. He's like, man, I should have just never said that. Yeah, you should have. Just do what you do for your brother, and let this damn stinking Hamite do whatever he does. Because that right there shows you that they ain't really for us. You in a economically depressed. You in a poor neighborhood. Why are you trying to just suck every penny about the penniless? You know what I'm saying? But that's Hamites. That's Hamites for you. I was talking to another sister who was saying she just went to a wedding, and it was a sister marrying a Nigerian, a Hamite, and she was saying you can just tell who was Ham. She didn't say it like that, but you can tell who was black and who was African just by the aroma in the building. She was like, I couldn't stay there that long. She was like, I couldn't stay there. In the words of Officer Arawaja, stinking Hamites. Yeah. Them stinking Hamites was all up in the store and whatnot. But let's continue. Yeah, you asked something?
So I mean, like, I figured I was wrong because I asked for forgiveness, but like, was I right in asking for forgiveness? Because I didn't cuss her out, but I did let her know my disapproval. I thought she was lazy. I thought the sister wasn't. I kind of went on her odor, and the fact that they lazy, it brought out the true colors of her being mean. I exploited that, and I don't think I went. I wasn't being a menace, but I was being extremely truthful, and I just feel like I could have been a little bit. I didn't have to do that. That was the problem. I didn't have to do all that. I did get my coffee.
You got your coffee?
Yeah.
And that stinking Hamite apologized to that Israelite woman, right?
Come.
So what do you have to be sorry about?
It's another hate. Like, that's what I'm here for, sitting in the seat. Like,
not only that, you showed everybody else around there what type of person what type of people these Hamites are. There's a reason why you will judge. I'm as you're saying that, I'm remembering how you got your name. And that same spirit of how you got your name is that same spirit you showed in that 7-Eleven. Don't apologize for that.
oh,
If you was wrong, I'm gonna put it to you this way. If you was wrong, Most High would let you know. Most High would let you know. And getting an apology from that Hamite to that sister, and then getting what you wanted, what you deserve, what the company policy was, it's proof enough right there. Let's continue. Let's continue on with this.
Verse
24.
And he turned back and looked on them. And
all right. He was like, all right, now I had enough of this. Enough is enough. It's all I can stand, and I can't stand no more. You know who you talking to? Do you know who you talking to? Keep going.
And looked on them.
Wait, hold on. He turned back and looked at them. Okay, and looked on them.
And cursed them in the name of the Lord.
So you said he cursed them. What does that mean? He's saying, you goddamn kids, you effing this and effing that. You blah blah blah. Is that what he's doing?
He wished bad on them.
I won't say he wished bad. If anybody's seen Captain Shock speaking, blazing on people, let the Lord bathe the streets of America. You know what I'm saying? In the blood of our oppressor. That's a curse.
That's correct.
Not F you, you stinking this or all that. That's not cursing. That's foul language. What Shock be saying? What he be saying, he was like, I pray you die of cancer. I pray you get cancer tonight. I pray your kid, I'm sitting there, you know what I'm saying? I remember the first time I was, he blazed that camp and I was reading, I was just, you know what I'm saying? I shouldn't have been a spectator, but I was just like in awe. I'm like, wow. But those are curses. And he be saying some of these beautiful curses too. I ain't never heard before. You know what I'm saying? I be hearing some of the generals be talking, some of their old speakings. I'm like, how in the world do you come up with this? And then I just see it, triculate down the can, and I hear other brothers. I'm like, man, I need to step my curse game up. They wicked with it. They vicious with it. Mm-hmm. But that goes to show you one body. You know what I'm saying? We're all saying the same thing. We're all saying the same thing. The death of this kingdom, so that we can bring about the Most High's kingdom. Because we won't be at the bottom at that kingdom. We're going to be at the top. We're going to be in rulership under YAHANNA. Keep going.
Come. And looked on them, and he cursed them in the name of the Lord.
Right.
And there came forth 2 she-bears out of the wood, and tear 40 and 2 children of them.
So 2 she-bears came out and killed 42 childrens. Killed 42 childrens. Keep going.
Verse 25. And he went from thence to Mount Carmel. And from thence he returned to Samaria.
All right, so right now, this prophet of the Most High, this man of the Most High, came into the city. These kids were carrying on, teasing them, and then he cursed these kids in the name of the Most High, and then immediately 2 bears came. Well, I'm not going to say immediately, because it doesn't say immediately. It says he cursed them, and then these 2 bears came out and killed 42 of them children. And then it said from there he went to another place and then another place.
Come.
That 42 kids, that has to be at least 20 sets of parents. You know what I'm saying?
Come.
So it has to be at least 20 up to about 84 people that lost their kids. You think they didn't want his head for that? You think they weren't mad about that? I saw an interview a few years ago with Mike Tyson. It was funny. Mike Tyson was up in Canada, and the interviewer, you probably seen it. The interviewer brought up his rape case. And he got mad, and he just started going in on, started cursing on him. He was like, "Hey, Mike, we live here. We live on TV. You can't be cursing like that." He was like, "Man, what you gonna do?" He was like, "What you gonna do?" He's like, "I don't care. So what you gonna do?" And then, he's like, "All right, well, yeah, that's what I thought." I can imagine, him was like, "Well, yeah, I cursed them kids. The Most High sent them bears. What you gonna do?" He walked out. He didn't run out. He didn't hide out. He didn't say he hid, and then he went from here and then he went from there. He said after that he went from this place, and then he went on about his business. Mm-hmm. Now, he cursed some kids. Did it say that he repented? He was sorry about what had happened?
Nah.
Watch it, you.
Come.
And if it was, this is what I was taught. Because I asked this question in class one time. Like, was he wrong for doing that? And it was like, if he was wrong for cursing them, the Most High would have sent the bears to tear them kids up. If you was wrong for that, the Most High wouldn't have allowed you to see that apology to that sister. You know what I'm saying?
Come.
You had a question?
No, I'm just an observation. One of the other times that I heard this story, somebody asked the question of when it was that the bears came. Was it right then and there?
and just stabbing the fact that it's one body in the I.S.U.P.K. The same teacher at that time said the same exact thing you just said. It doesn't say it, so you can't assume. You know, just recognizing as I'm sitting in this seat, you know, everything is exactly like it's told, like it's done.
I'm not breaking this down any way that I haven't heard it from. You know what I'm saying? This is exactly how the way I heard it, exactly like the way I'm teaching you. Lord allow, it'll be one day how the way you teaching another brother or sister. Let's go. Drop that. Get me Exodus 17 and 8. Exodus chapter 17, verse 8.
Come. The book of Exodus, chapter 17, verse 8. Then came Amalek and fought with Israel and Rephidim.
Hold on. 17 verse 8. Okay. Keep going.
Verse 9. And Moses said unto Joshua, choose us out of men and go fight with Amalek, and go out. Fight.
From the top, one more time.
Verse 9. And Moses said unto Joshua, choose us out men and go out. Fight with Amalek. Tomorrow I will stand on the top of the hill with the rod of God in my hand.
All right, so right now what we're seeing is we're about to get throw down with Amalek. We're about to throw down with Amalek, and he's given his general Joshua some orders. He's like, choose some men that you about to go and fight with, and go out, and you about to fight with Amalek tomorrow. What I'm going to do as a man of God, I'm going to go up to the top of the hill. I'm going to raise my arm with the rod of God, with the rod of the Most High. All right, in my hand. Keep going.
Verse 10. So Joshua did as Moses had said to him.
So right there, another thing. Joshua is a soldier. He's a soldier in the Most High's army, and we're learning to be soldiers in the Most High's army. He did exactly what he was told to do, and that's what a soldier's job is to do. Do what you're told to do. Relay those orders down to the men that's under you. He didn't ask him, well, why I got to do that? And you just going to be standing on the hill? Really? I got to be doing all this work? Nah, he said, come on, and went and did what he did. Keep going.
Verse 11. And it came to pass when Moses held up his hand.
No, hold on. You didn't finish with 10. Go back. Start at 10.
Come. Verse 10. So Joshua did as Moses had said to him, and fought with Amalek. Right. And Moses, Aaron, and Hur went up to the top of the hill.
Right.
Verse 11. And it came to pass when Moses held up his hand that Israel prevailed.
So he was saying whenever he held up his hand, Israel was winning the battle.
Come.
This is what's going on. Keep going.
And when he let down his hand, Amalek prevailed.
So he's saying this is the power of a prophet. Power of the Most High gives the prophet, his priest. Every time he held his hand up, we were winning. When he put his hands down, we started to lose. I don't know if you just held your hand up, shoulders start burning. Shoulders start burning. He had to put his hand down and all right, get a break, get a rest. We started losing. I need to put my hand back up. So what happened? What happened with that? How did they, get a work around that? Keep going.
Verse 12. But Moses' hands were heavy, and they took a stone and put it under him, and he sat thereon. And Aaron and Hur stayed up his hands, and the one on the one side, and the other on the other side.
Right.
And his hands were steady until the going down of the sun.
So they were in battle all day long until the sun went down, until the next day. If you know how the days work according to the Most High, according to the Bible, once the sun goes down, that's the end of that day and the beginning of a new day. So they fought until the very next day. He said, "Go down, take the men, choose some men, go down there, and you're gonna fight Amalek tomorrow. I'm gonna go up and I'm gonna raise my hand up with the rod of God in my hand. So from sun up to sundown, this battle was going on. Most of us can't hold our arms up for 5 minutes. You know, set the time for 5 minutes. Just hold your arm up for 5 minutes. That junk gets shaky. That junk gets shaky. He did it all day, and if he didn't do that, we died. Israel died. This is the power of the Most High gives us. So what did they do? They set up a rock, a big stone, so that he can sit down, and then each man, one man on each side, kept his arms up. Kept his arms up so that we can win this battle. That's the power of the Most High. That's the power the Most High gives us. Yeah.
No, that's brotherhood too.
Exactly. It's brotherhood. They seen him struggling, and that's that. I'm glad you brought that out. That is heavy because as we're here, we should start easing the burden of the men above us, because they have things on their plate that we don't even fathom. You know what I'm saying? They have things on their plate that we can't see. We just can't see what they do. So anything that we can do to ease the burden, just like these men were easing the burden of Moses just by holding his arms up. Each man held the arm up. Anything that we can do to ease the burden, lessen the burnout on the men above us, we need to do. We should do. Because like I said, you don't know what's going on. You know what I'm saying? You don't know what battles they're fighting. You know what I'm saying? You don't know what's really on their plate. Because 10 times out of 10, they're handling it with like such class and ease. It's just like, this is like flawless. You know what I'm saying? But if you can just take something off their plate so they don't have to worry about it, and then be diligent about it. You know what I'm saying? So that they won't even have to worry about once that's taken over, that department's taken. Like just look at Kazak. He's like a utility man. He gets so much. I've been around him, and he just gets so much done. He just gets so much done. Well, I don't know if you see this, but he just gets so much done. I'm not talking about throwing shade at anybody else. I just been around Officer Kazak a lot, and I seen him. He just gets things done. You know what I'm saying? Also with I see a lot with Officer Nakamaya. Cap always whenever he's in class, he's like, man, that's why you're my right hand man. I see the load that he's taking off of Cap Mashak. You know what I'm saying? So if there's a way that that you can take off a load off the man above you or the men above you, do that, because you have no idea what is on their plate. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Did you had your hand raised for something?
Nah.
All right. Let's continue on with this. Hold on, where are we? We was at 12?
13.
Keep going.
Come. Verse 13. And Joshua discomfited Amalek and his people with the edge of the sword. Verse 14. And the Lord said unto Moses, write this for a memorial in a book, and rehearse it in the ears of Joshua. For I will utterly put out the remembrance of Amalek from under heaven.
Right, Most High in Christ. Hold on, we're gonna get one more scripture, and we're gonna call it a night. Give me 1 Kings chapter 13. We're gonna start verse 1.
Come.
Hold on. I'm gonna get there with you.
Come.
Man, there's so many places in here where we can actually go and where we can actually go and see the power of the prophets, where we can actually go and see how the Most High is actually with, the prophets and his priests, people who are actually following, not just following the law, statutes, and the commandments. You can follow the law, statutes, and commandments and still not be in the truth, but getting up under the banner of the UPK, up under the Commander General YAHANNA. And like I said earlier at the beginning of the class, I was going to give you some real life examples of the power that the Most High actually gives the prophets here in school. There was I want to say it was in all these things happen. I mean, it happens throughout the school. Some things we actually know about, some things we don't. When we're at camp, there's a whole bunch of naysayers. There hasn't been really a lot of naysayers, since COVID, happened. But like before that, once like the streets were actually like wide open and whatnot, it was a lot of people come out, just wanted to battle. You know what I'm saying? I'm talking about Israel. Just wanted to battle. There was, of course, the Kentucky 8. You know about the Kentucky 8, where basically the damn city of Kentucky came down and tried to fall on the camp. Most High was with those brothers out there, right? Had some video on some of the people that were there because the camera got destroyed. The camera got destroyed during that battle, but they had some video of some of the people that were there before that day, and I want to say it's on the I.S.U.P.K Kentucky Facebook page, but it shows like 3 or 4 different incidences where it was a brother that was during the Kentucky 8 incident. Showed him before, coming up against the camp. Then it showed, it got the result of it. I think he was killed in like a gun battle or something. Most High judged him for coming up against the camp. There was another sister who was out just speaking against the camp. It showed I want to say it was at that camp actually where she was taken down hard by the police, arrested. You was there, weren't you there when we had
I was there.
that sister who came to the camp and was kicking over the signs? Right? She went to jail, and it was a weekend, so she had to spend the weekend in jail. She wasn't seeing the judge until Monday. There was another incident where there was like one of the BLM, like he was a popular BLM guy in that area. Showed video after video of him coming up against the camp with a bullhorn. He wound up getting killed. And they had a march, and then he's on a sign, rest in peace, whatever his name was. He was Israel. Scripture says the Most High is cleaning his house first. He's cleaning his house first, and then he's going to go out and cleanse the world. These all these instances that I brought out was Israel. All these instances was Israel. I'm not saying good for them, because I would rather they repent from coming up against the Most High, coming up against us, and getting into the seats. And if they're not going to get into these seats, put their butts in the seats, just support us. You know what I'm saying? Don't come up against us. I would rather that happen than for these brothers and sisters be put to death,
Right?
Or at least this sister, those 2 sisters that I told, the one that came up against us in camp and the one that was out in Kentucky, at least they had a chance to turn back. Because who knows how many times those other 2 dudes came up against the camp, came against the Most High. You know what I'm saying? And the Most High dealt with them. I would rather them repent from that and just, you know, and just come in class, or stop throwing rocks at the Most High. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
The Most High don't play these games. He don't play these games. But let's did you read the first verse?
Nah. Didn't get to finish.
All right, yeah, keep going.
Oh, I ain't stopped. The book of 1 Kings, chapter 13, verse 1. And behold, there came a man of God out of Judah by the word of the Lord unto Bethel. And Jeroboam stood by the altar to burn incense.
All right, keep going.
And he cried against the altar in the word of the Lord, and said, O altar, thus saith the Lord, behold, a child shall be born unto the house of David, Josiah by name, and upon thee shall he offer the priests of the high places that burn incense upon thee, and men's bones shall be burnt upon thee.
Now we just went over this. In class. Read that part one more time. Hold on.
Verse 2, 2 Kings 23.
2 Kings 20. All right, yeah. So read that again.
Verse 2. And he cried against the altar in the word of the Lord, and said, O altar, thus saith the Lord, behold, a child shall be born unto the house of David, Josiah by name, and upon thee shall he offer the priests of the high places, and burn incense upon thee, and men's bones shall be burnt upon thee.
All right. Now he's talking about of course, a man that he's prophesying about a prophet that's going to come and going to do these things. Take me to the 2 Kings 23 and 19. Start at verse 19. Wait, hold on. Sorry, verse 20.
Come. Book of 2 Kings, chapter 23, verse 19.
No, verse 20. Go to
verse 20. And he slew all the priests of the high places that were there upon the altars.
Wait, hold on, Salakia. If I could go to 19. Go to 19.
Come. Verse 19. And all the houses also of the high places that were in the cities of Samaria, which the kings of Israel had made to provoke the Lord to anger.
Right.
And Josiah took away and did to them according to all the acts that had been done in Bethel.
Right. All right. So what Josiah is doing is what he's about to do has been prophesied from what we just read. From what we just read in 1 Kings 13. Keep going.
Come. And he slew all the priests of the high places that were there upon the altars, and burned men's bones upon them, and returned to Jerusalem.
So what he did was he everybody who profaned the Lord's name, who profaned the Most High's house, who burnt offerings unto Baal, unto these false gods. He took those men and taught Israel to do that. He took those men and he did exactly what was prophesied he was supposed to do since 1 Kings. And this is exactly what happened. We just read in 1 Kings what he was supposed to do. And this is exactly what he did. Yeah, you got something?
Josiah was the king at the time, right?
Yeah.
Come.
Yeah, Josiah was the king of Israel at that time, and if you read up, if you have time, read up on what happened. The Most High was going to destroy Josiah and Israel at this time. Josiah humbled himself. He made himself humble unto the Most High, and the Most High was like, "All right, well, since you humbled yourself," and on top of that, a prophet came to him and said, "Yo, you messing up." You messing up, you teaching everybody else to mess up. Most High is going to destroy you. Most High is going to destroy, your kingdom. He's going to destroy Israel.
Right.
He humbled himself. He begged for forgiveness from the Most High. The Most High told that prophet to turn back around and tell him, all right, well, since you humbled yourself, you're not going to see what's going to happen. Your kids are going to see this, but you're not going to, your descendants are going to see this, but you're not going to see this. He took it upon himself to go and clean house. Everything that the Most High was against, he wanted to tear out so that the same mercy that the Most High showed him, so that he wouldn't have to see it, he was trying to pass that on to the rest of Israel. This is how the man of God works.
Right.
He didn't just sit back and say, all right, well, I'm good. I ain't gonna see what these curses that the Most High is going to give. This is all on you. He didn't do that. He took it upon himself to go and clean house, to try and abate the Most High from destroying Israel. Is there a precept where a prophet has done that before?
Precept would be Moses when the Most High was going to just destroy all of Israel and then start over and make Moses' seed be his children.
Exactly. Yeah. That's where I was going. That's where I was going. Another good one is with Jonah. Jonah warned the people of I forget this name. But he warned the city. I forget the city's name. But he warned the people, and they repented their ways. They turned away from their ways, and the Most High saved all the people, all of Israel. He saved that city. Christ. You know what I'm saying?
Come.
Without Christ, there's no way that we can actually, I wouldn't be able to come into the sanctuary if it wasn't for Christ. You know what I'm saying? Just because of the things that I've done, things that my father has done. You know what I'm saying? There are certain laws where if a man does something, his kids can't come into the sanctuary. You know what I'm saying? So I'm going to end it right there. We can go to a bunch of different places. Do you have any other questions before I close out?
I do have one.
What's up?
I have one.
I'm going to do this real quick.
Let's see. I think it's in Leviticus 19. It's a word.
Leviticus 19.
Malach.
What's 19 or what?
Malach. What is it? I got it written down somewhere. Right here. Question. Sloppy. Roll it down. It was something. It had something to do with a man's seed, and the word was like Malach, like Molecha.
Well, what's the verse?
I don't know. I can't remember the verse, but it's like Leviticus 19. What's one? Hold on. gonna see if I could just pull it up. I could just Google it. It might give me.
Well, you know what the paraphrasing the verse was?
It was something about a man's seed and something malach or something like that.
Okay.
I got Leviticus 18 and 21. Let me see.
18 and 21. Leviticus 18 and 21. Thou shalt not let any of thy seed pass through the fire of Molech. Neither shalt thou profane the name of the Most High. I am the Most High. I am Yahweh.
What is Molech?
Molech is a false god. We like Baal.
Okay.
We unfortunately we worship a lot of other gods, a lot of false gods, and one of those false gods was Molech.
Okay.
So his name was Molech, and I want to say that was one of the gods of Egypt. Yeah.
So basically, like, don't be following those traditions, pass it through the fire, like, and don't teach your kids that either.
Don't celebrate Christmas. Don't celebrate Easter.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Don't celebrate New Year's and all these other heathen holidays. Don't turn to Mecca and pray 5 times a day. You know what I'm saying? Don't celebrate Ramadan. All those heathen rituals, that's passing through the fire of Molech. Don't do any of that crap. Don't do any of that nonsense. Did that answer your question?
Throughout, sir.
No sweat. All right. With that, I'm gonna pass the class to SHALAM. Go ahead and read that.
Okay, that was the first time. These are security announcements. We are the I.S.U.P.K out of 1 West 25th Street, Harlem, New York, under Commander General YAHANNA.
One more time.
Lucky. We are the I.S.U.P.K out of 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York, under Commander General YAHANNA. New rules for brothers and sisters. When a new brother or sister comes into the school, they are off limits for 6 months. They are to be saluted only. They are here to shut themselves of the world. After 6 months, if a brother or sister has an interest in a particular person, he or she must get permission from the head to speak to a brother or a sister. There's another 6 months in which the brother or sister will court each other. After this 6-month period, the brother or sister will get permission from the head to marry. Tithes, which is a commandment. You can find this in Numbers 18, verse 21, and Malachi chapter 3, verse 8 through 10. Means tenth in Hebrew, and it's pronounced ma'ashra. 10% of every penny of increase the Lord gives you to the Treasury Department or teacher. Give to the Treasury Department or teacher. Salami. Priest fund. Free will offering for priests. Not mandatory. Whatsoever amount you would like to give. Upcoming Holy Convocation.
All right, yeah. The next upcoming Holy Convocation is a memorial of the blowing of the trumpets, which is the first day of the 7th month. That is Monday, September 6th, 2021. You can find us in Leviticus 23, verse 24 to 25. Also, the upcoming cookouts. The next one is New York, August 19th to the 21st. Texas, October 7th through the 10th. Vegas, November 11th through the 14th. And Florida, December 2nd through the 6th. So August, October, November, and December. Keep going.
Remind Akim and Akwathium to check on social media such as ISUPK.com, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, and so on for I.S.U.P.K events and materials. If a brother wants to be a trooper in the school, you should start wearing all black, which includes black boots, black shirts, black pants, black headband, or scarf. And with that, I would say, Amajin. One courtesy salute to the teacher. Men of Israel, Amajin Shabbat. Amajin, Barak, Yahweh Shimi Al Shabrakata.
Yasmata, class dismissed.